Hello everyone and welcome to today's cryptocurrencies update for the 10th. Welcome. Hello everyone and welcome to today's cryptocurrency update for Wednesday the 10th, 2022. Seeing here more upside surprises, which continues to be bullish. So let's have a look at the charts as we are tracking this first/A wave up higher. And I think we're going to get some very nice resolutions to this. Everything still looks pretty good otherwise, so no real major changes. No update tomorrow. Friday's update will be held on Saturday. I will be traveling. Thank you so much. No update tomorrow. Friday's update will be on Saturday. Jesse Livermore's trading rules, stick to them. And let's see here, household items, stick to them. I can never be 100% accurate, especially not on the shorter term. The shorter term is always more variable. The stock market has a 58% chance to be up any given day, 58%. So it's very close to a flip of a coin. So please take that into considerations. Do not expect godlike forecasts. They do not exist. Lastly, please remember the bigger picture that we're in. Nothing has changed my view that we're still going to Bitcoin 100,000. It's simply a matter of how are we going to fill in those smaller scribbles. So if you stumble over those smaller scribbles, that I don't always get them exactly right, unfortunately, you need to see the forest through the trees. Okay, you really need to. I cannot stress that often enough. The short term is very variable. You can get whipsaws, back, forth, that simply cannot be known beforehand. But as long as price levels hold to the downside on a closing basis or breakout to the upside on a closing basis, we're fine. But always remember, there are no guarantees. There are always false breakouts. There will be false breakdowns. Those are called whipsaws. They're meant to stop folks out. The trade reverses. It happens. Okay, please keep that in consideration. So if you have a very short-term view, then you will be, of course, also subject to this type of whipsaw. Cardano. The reason I'm not updating much on Cardano is because, as you can see here on the transition trend chart, this is primarily going sideways. We need to break above the Ichimoku cloud, which is this red-orange blob, I would say, on the chart. I'll show you in a minute why that is important. So once we get that, I think it's time to update the Cardano chart more frequently. So here is Avalanche. What happened when Avalanche broke above the cloud? You can see it stayed here in the cloud for almost a month. When it finally broke out, off to the races. Above the 50-day, the 10-day, and the 20-day, good stuff. We can target on a breakout as high as 34.5. The short-term Elliott wave count, since I'm tracking this as a diagonal, which is overlapping, it is hard to know how exactly waves 3, 4, and 5 will transpire because of the overlapping nature. In an impulse, it is much easier, though of course in an impulse we can also see extensions and subdivisions. Those cannot be known beforehand. You start off with the known unknown is that a third wave should go to ideally 161.8. Doesn't have to, it can go to 138.2. Nobody knows that beforehand. It can go to 261.8, 361.8. Nobody knows that. Literally, how the F is one supposed to know that? You cannot know that. If that's what you think you need to know, then you're looking in the wrong corner because you cannot know it, so you track accordingly. If you then sell in the target zone and we keep on extending higher, oh boy, how bad. You simply buy the breakout, put appropriate lows of stops in place and try to catch the next ride. It's all about being on the right side of the trade. It's not about selling exactly at the top and buying exactly at the low. It's impossible. Nobody can ride that trend. So BinanceCoin 345, potentially completed 5. There are a few negative divergences, but I would really like to see this pattern fill in according to the black arrows. That's my preferred path. Now here's BinanceCoin as well. What happened when we broke above this cloud? Massive upside. Okay, so that's why I'm waiting for Cardano to break above the cloud. We will see a little bit the same for Bitcoin as well. So BinanceCoin still looks also best as this diagonal. So here's my best interpretation, but we might have completed primary 4 already at the June 18 low, as we did for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I now also have Ethereum aligned as having completed its primary low on June 18th. Okay, so then we have something like this going on, and we're simply still subdividing higher. This would be 2, and then we have 1. Again, remember, we are trying to interpret the price action to the best of our knowledge. Again, if we are dealing with overlapping diagonals, we can always tag on another ABC. So wave 3 in a leading diagonal is an ABC. So that's 3 moves higher. When you get the first 3 moves higher and they go above the start of the end of wave 1, then that could be all of wave 3, correct? Or it is only 1 of 3 because we're tagging on another set of ABCs. So we can easily continue to subdivide higher. So here we have 1 with 2, 1, 2, 3. So that could be 3. This could be 4. And then here is 3. Now in something like this is very possible. You see how we can move? This is not moving the goalpost. This is interpretation. You simply have no real reference on where these ABCs are going to end. That's when we start to look at price levels. So if we go below this 272 level that has been on the map for quite some time, as I wrote in my emails, then we know we have a decent top in place. If not, we can continue to subdivide higher because that's the nature of diagonals. Okay, that is simply the way things move, and that is unknown beforehand till it finally moves out. But there's nothing bearish because we have not broken below any price levels. Okay, so we simply move higher. No fear for FOMO or whatever, nothing. You should have been long BinanceCoin. If you're not long BinanceCoin, then I don't know what to tell you. That's I've not been bearish on BinanceCoin, just looking higher in the sense of, okay, we're wrapping up potentially a 4th and a 5th wave. I'm not even intermediate term, not bearish on BinanceCoin, because if we get this diagonal higher, we'll get the pullback and then another leg higher. All right. So always remember the short term is variable. So one can be bearish the short term over a few days, which is bullish within a longer uptrend. You can have pullbacks in an uptrend. So please keep it in mind. So here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it definitely has some work to do. I still like this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 setup. If we start breaking down, I can change this into a 1, 2, and this is then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the diagonal is already completed. Okay, so please keep that. Remember, Bitcoin is still in the Ichimoku cloud and not as bullish as some of these other cryptocurrencies. As we were here for BinanceCoin. Those ones are running way ahead of Bitcoin. Don't ask me why Bitcoin is not following along, and it is still under resistance. You see this resistance level at about 23,500. It needs to break above it. It bumped its head there on Monday, and it bumped its head there in late July, a little bit earlier in the month. Stiff resistance. We break above it, then we can start targeting into the mid 20,000s and to ideally 27.5, maybe 28. Why is that? Because you can clearly see around this level here between 29 and about 32, I would say, is of course very strong resistance. So we need to break above this cloud. We're still in the cloud, and that might take a while. Just as for Avalanche, I believe it was, it took quite some time for it to break out. So Bitcoin might be in the same predicament. Once we get the breakout, we're good. And of course, we need to hold above the 22,000 level. If we start breaking below it, then we start breaking below the 50-day. No bueno, then we can still revisit the 10 to 17,000 level. Okay, so we're still very early days in this potential new bull market. I say potential because we haven't yet confirmed it. I need to clearly see 5 waves up, and I haven't seen it yet. The one that does give me a little bit more hope is Ethereum. Once again, you can see what happens when Ethereum goes above the cloud, upside. Okay, not since late July, but the general trend, of course, is now higher. we're starting to make again higher highs and higher lows. I think the 200-day is going to be a nice target around 2200 plus or minus 100. This is a classic breakout. We broke out above 1700, this level here, which is the summer 2021 lows, and of course the May low, right? That is a critical level. We broke above it on Monday. It was a false breakout. We broke below it on Tuesday. And back here, whipsawed back above it again. So this is what I mean with the variability of the short term. This is short-term variability you have to deal with, and then you can easily get it wrong. This looks now more like a 1-2 setup for a wave 5 of 1A into this resistance zone at around 2200 plus or minus 100. Why? Because again, that was resistance here in May. It was support here in February and January. So those are very critical levels to reach. And the bears want to stay below it. But if we get there, then we have a clear 5 waves up higher. 1, 2, 1, 2. Look at this impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3. Then we had a irregular expanded flat wave 4, A, B, C, 4, 4, 3. Then I believe last week's low at around 1561 was wave 4, and we have another subdividing wave 5 underway. So continues to look like a nice impulse. Even this rally from this gray wave 4, 1, 2, 3 is an impulse. So the upside remains impulse. I'm seeing a candle here, but this would then be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 in gray. Then we had wave 2 at today's low, and then 3, 4, and 5. Yes, my trading system went long. Bitcoin and Ethereum yesterday. Got stopped out this morning because it went a little bit lower than where the stops was placed. This is this whipsawing type of environment. It happens. My short-term Ethereum algorithm is up 8,600% since 2014. If you can beat that, please let me know. If you can't, I really think you should subscribe to my crypto bot once it is running. I don't think anybody can ever beat that. This is a performance that is just fantastic and phenomenal. Put in $1,000, you would have almost 100,000 now. Yeah, you pay a little fee, but you can see what you have when you do nothing, what you can get. So I just really recommend this type of systematic trading. All right, systematic trading is where you use stops rigorously and have set rules that you always listen to, and no other than computers are best at doing that. Anyway, here's my interpretation. If we can hold today's low, that is of course the key level to watch, then we should be able to reach that resistance zone. Looks good here. We are above the 50-day moving average for the first time since the breakdown here in May, and we've stayed above it for quite a while, so this looks still bullish. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, I originally thought that if we had a truncated fifth here late July, then we could have already completed 5 waves up. Now with this wave count, it is more bullish. That's good. It's upside surprises. I like it. I hope stock charts will save this. If not, then it is on your screen what I expect going forward, 3, 4, and 5. As long as today's low holds. Of course, stock charts doesn't save it. That's fine. Here's another chart I wanted to share what happens when you break out above the cloud. And that's what needs to happen. See no reason to change my tune on this one. 3, 4 looks like this wave 4 is more of a sideways mess. We break out above $1 and a couple of cents. Then wave 5 should be on its way. And then we get a larger pullback. So this one starts to align also with other cryptocurrencies. Here we have MARA. What a winner that one. Looks pretty good here for this ending diagonal wave 5 of 1A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I use RIOT, same deal here. We actually had on Monday's high a fantastic 123.6 extension of wave 1 measured for wave 2. So that is classic for a diagonal. It's absolute classic for a wave 3. Then yesterday's low was wave 4, and we should now be in wave 5 of 1A. Then we get the pullback, and then we get wave 3C. Yes, after 5 waves up, you always get at least 3 waves down and another 5 up. So the other 5 up is coming. So this is going to be a fantastic low risk, high opportunity buying chance. RIOT is in this $9 to same for MARA. We are in this resistance zone. Okay, we're getting very close here to this about 17.5 level. I think we'll get there, but please keep that in mind. Then we get the pullback and another rally. Looks really good. So that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. A really quick recap is that I remain bullish. I do want to see the lows hold. It starts to look much better and clearer for 5 waves higher, especially these mining companies start to look bullish. Bitcoin has still a little bit of work to do, as it is, of course, the cloud. I really want to see those 5 waves higher to really somewhere around 27,500. I see no reason yet to change my tune. That will be if we break above last week's low. Actually, the same for all these other cryptocurrencies. We start breaking below this last week's low. That will be bearish. Then we should complete wave 1A for Bitcoin. We get wave 2B and then 3C. Okay, that's the path I am looking for. Same for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Same path. Okay. Again, if you have difficulty trading, sign up for my crypto trading alerts. Yes, there will be. If you can get 8,500 in 6 years, I don't know what to tell you. That's darn good. Take care, trade safe, and I'll see you all on Saturday. Bye.